Okay, I thought I'd make a quick video on what I plan to do. This was my original delay circuit, one I called the Cicada Delay, and the red box is on the pedal board, and I'm using that currently, and it sounds great. It's been working great. And anyway, this one has caused me some problems. This was the original circuit I built. Thought I had it sounding really good. Come to find out, I went back and had a whole bunch of noise through the main rig. So that was very disappointing. Kind of sat on my thumbs for a while and debated on how I was going to go about things and all that. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. But what I realized is this is a huge circuit board, and today I've done a lot of stuff. If I reach over here and grab this, I redesigned this, and it's got, if I zoom in, it's got the bypass switch, the LED. LED was fried when I was working on it. It was a total mess. And so, I waited till it cooled down and figured I'd try it again. So, the thing about it is, this is the original box that this thing is going to go in. And that's what it looks like. I've already uploaded one video, but come to find out, it did not work. So, that's kind of disappointing, And so I figured I'd get something done with it. And at least the LED works, the bypass switch works, the jacks work, it's grounded, it's ready to go. So back to this. I took all of that out of there. I don't know, I guess about a month ago I took the actual op amp out of there, not knowing what was going on. I'm getting distortion off this thing, and I did my voltages. They're way higher than they should be. I've already been through this once, so what I'm doing is I took down the power section. I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to rebuild that power section. Hopefully I'll have enough room to build my op amp section. And this delay circuit works. So what I'm planning on trying to do, I'm really going on a journey with this one. I'm going to put another PT2399 chip there and have a dual delay. Why have two pedals that do the same thing? So that is my journey. Don't know if I'll ever finish that one, but I just wanted to make some notes about it. In case I got lucky, I could release these videos. Okay, well, that took a minute to revisit. Like I said earlier, did a whole bunch of stuff, took all that out of there, opened this up, and it was already open, believe it or not, because of a failed part of the circuit. So it's been cleaned off. This thing works. It gets 5 volts. That's a PT2399. And now what I've done is when we go over here, I have built my power section. This is a 5 volt regulator. And I wanted to make a video to show how you go about these things. Basically what you have is you've got the voltage regulator right there. It's got pin 1, pin 2, pin 3 from left to right. Your 9 volts is going to go to pin 1. So that's where the power gets. Pin 2 goes to your ground. That's how that works. Pin 3, what it does, that's your voltage out. And through the series of capacitors that you see and The last design that I had, I think the reason I was getting the noise was the fact that I just built it wrong. Your power section is what gives you the stability of the chip. If you don't have that right, you're going to have distortion. So I'm hoping this will be a cleaner sound now with all this. This blue line is the voltage divider that comes off of this. So it took me a minute to figure the voltage divider out. One of the resistors has to be tied to ground. The other resistor goes back towards the line that goes to pin 1. So those are some important notes that I had to kind of mull over, and I'm going to listen to. I had not hooked it up to the PT2399 yet, but I got my correct voltages. I got 5 volts on the money here. I've got the 4.5. It's a weaker battery, so it's showing like 3 point something another, but it should be 4.5 if you had a full 9-volt source. So that's what we got. And I'm going to try to consolidate all that. When you're doing breadboard and everything gets really exploded, and I'm going to see if I can get it in this quadrant right in here. Put my op amp right in here. And then on this side, maybe another PT2399 down the road, but I got to get more parts. Okay, well, here is the update for today. Like I said, I had taken out this power section and rebuilt it. The power section works. I can hear the delay chip working, but it's still getting the wrong voltages. So there's furthermore stuff to do. And probably what I end up doing is taking all of that out of there. I've done that before. And hopefully that will clear up the problem. If not, it is no big deal. Just start over. But I'm very happy with the results of what I've done today. Getting that power section as consolidated as I did. That is pretty tight work there. So that should give me plenty of room to get the op amp down in here. And if I can get this one working, then I know I can get another one working. So that is the plan. Okay, here's an update on the project. Where we left off, I put together a power section, very consolidated. Got a space down in here, going to put an op amp in there. Earlier, we'll say, worked on the situation where it was a failed attempt. And you can zoom in here. I've got a socket right there. Something happened with that. I had to go back and maneuver putting those things, getting it all hooked up. Where the issues were was it was making extra contact. And you do that, it's game over. You can't get the circuit to work. So a lot of troubleshooting went into this. You can tell that I got 2 sockets in there. So those sockets are going to be where I can take the 82 nanos that they got in there currently and find the right frequencies that I'm looking for. It's halfway completed. I don't have the line in and line out just yet. So I've kind of manufactured what I have. I was very hesitant with working on this portion of the circuit right there because it works. And I don't want to tear anything apart that already works. And so, like I said, it was the sockets that I had to do some troubleshooting on. This one right there has got, I can really zoom in, you can see there's a space in there. So I'm not sure if that socket is any good or not. Easily I could just drop that capacitor down in that hole, tie it all together, and be done with that. My voltages are all wrong. And I'm showing like on this pin over here, I can get my finger in there, that one right there, this capacitor, that is showing 5 volts. So something's faulty with it still. But just to prove that it works, I wanted to, I ran a line in there, so we got continuous repeats, and I'm just going to plunk a string here, and you can hear it. So the circuit works. So you can hear that multiple repeats. And so that's definitely where a potentiometer is going to go and all that. So just making a video just to kind of give myself some feedback. And I'll tell you what, hours went into trying to figure out why this thing didn't work. So again, to reiterate, those capacitors, that socket, that one socket caused all the agony. I got to say this and mention it in the notes. Yeah, I went back and rebuilt all that. Because of the distortion, I thought that was where I should start, like many times before. So I cleared all that out, put in the sockets, put in the capacitors, the resistors, all the blue resistors you see in there, and all the grounding that goes into these things. So that's like a separate section there. Separate section, that's the power section. And in here is where the PT2399. And over here, a lot of space to put another PT2399 for a dual delay. Op amp down here on this left side, if I can squeeze that in. I'm hoping, got to gain some energy to get that going again. I'm really put a lot of hours into this thing already. Okay, here's a video with this thing not hooked up correctly, but it's just to show that it can get multiple repeats. Basically got my voltages back, so did some dialing it in, and I can see how I add filtering that reduces the voltage. And when you go from one thing to the next, well, the voltages won't be correct. That's the reason these schematics are designed the way they are. So here this is. So you can hear it repeats. Now the reason I'm showing this is so that you can get a monitoring of the situation. Because if I take this out of there, now you're just going to get one repeat. And it's clean. So that's the wet signal is what's going on there. And that's the reason you have to have the op amp, because the op amp's going to blend your dry signal with the way the wet signal is. Like I said, to monitor the situation, you had to know that the circuit's working, and there's just little points in the signal chain where you can figure out whether that's creating the delay signal or not. And so I understand that much of it. And, you know, I'm getting better at it each day. Like I said, I troubleshooted an idea and nailed it down to what it was. And so now what I'm going to try to do is expand on this circuit. And hopefully by the end of it, I'll have something that's a workable delay. So you can't even hear the guitar. You can hear only the delay signal. So, one day at a time, we'll get it.